What up, y'all? St. Pete. Today I'm going to talk about Common Core. Common Core is No Child Left Behind on steroids. And there's not a teacher out there that'll tell you that No Child Left Behind did any good. Basically took children that were on 4th grade reading levels, put them in the 8th grade. So by the time that they finished high school, they were lucky to have an 8th grade reading level. Common Core was pushed through the back door. Nobody voted for it. It snuck in through the Bill Gates Foundation, was the biggest funder of it. And the only thing that Bill Gates puts more money into is abortion and eugenics. He's a terrorist. But because he looks nerdy and geeky, people think that he's harmless, and that is a fallacy. James Milgram was one of the few mathematicians in the country who was hired by Common Core to look over the curriculum before it was put out. He said it was an absolute joke, and it was set to children behind like 5 years, something like that. Sandra Stotsky was hired to look over the English curriculum, and she said it was an absolute joke. Both of their comments were withheld and fired by Common Core after their findings. Common Core is basically taking your children, putting them into groups of 3. They're given a problem to figure out. If 2 of the children get the wrong answer and the other child gets the right answer, the child with the right answer is marked wrong because he did not agree. So this isn't about the right answer. This is about agreeing. This is about going along to get along, which is a problem in this country. Common Core, look up a Common Core sexual poster. A girl, I think it was in like 5th grade or something, took a picture of this poster that was hanging up in her classroom, and it says, how do you express your feelings towards somebody that you like? There were things on there like anal sex, touching the genitals, oral sex, and then things like I like you. So they basically equated saying I like you with anal sex. Common Core is a giant experiment, and your children are the guinea pigs of. But there's hope, because things can be done. If you start to open your mouth and start to make phone calls and start to get people hip to what's going on. Teachers, don't depend on the teachers, because the teachers are being threatened with their job. I've been to 2 schools. I wrote a paper on it. The teachers are being threatened to go along or get along, but little do they know that they are actually signing their own death warrant, because they are eventually not going to need teachers no more, because now they got computers coming in, and that's another thing with Bill Gates being involved in it, because now all his computers are taking the place of books. They don't have books no more. They got the computers coming in. Basically, the computers will be teaching your children, and not teachers, not human beings. So it's robots teaching humans, part of the transhumanist agenda. It's absolutely ridiculous. They're not allowed to talk about, who gave the Gettysburg Address. They've taken all the good American literature out of the reading system, and there's different levels of Common Core. There's different levels of it, depending on where you at, but eventually these are the goals, is to implement the thing. So if just Google Common Core math, and you'll see how ridiculous it is. So if you have Common Core in your school right now, and this goes for every school, this is private, parochial, it doesn't matter. It's all schools. So depending on what school it is, and depending on what level it's at right now, but this is the way they do it. It's the psychology of boiling a frog slowly but surely. If you put a frog in a pot of water and you boil it slowly, the frog will not know he's being cooked until he's dead. But if you were to boil the water first and throw the frog into it, he'd jump right out, just like us. They can't implement it full force initially, and yeah. So there are a bunch of states that have legislation in place to have it kicked out after a couple of months. Do the research. Dr. Pesta does a brilliant lecture on Common Core. You can find it on YouTube. I suggest any parent who gives a shit about their child's education, and remember the word education means to draw out of and not put in. They're actually indoctrinators. They're not teachers, they're indoctrinators. They indoctrinate children with these Marxist, socialist beliefs. That's why you have all the guys and girls coming out of college right now, all about socialism. So, you know, do the research. I'm one of the only people that tell you, don't believe me, do the research yourself. I'm just giving you the breadcrumbs. Follow the breadcrumbs. If you have children that are in the system, do the research. And if you give a shit, if you care about your child's future and education, pull them out of that school. And don't believe the hype that, you know, it's, they got to get socialized. That's why I send my children to school so they can get socialized. That is such bullshit. I don't know who said that, and it's not true. So please, once again, do some research on your own and stop regurgitating facts from unknown sources. Homeschooling your children does not make them any less social. So you mean to tell me a child that goes into school and is told to sit and told to do this and told to do that? He is taught to follow orders. He is not socializing. Stop it. Grow up. Stop acting like a child. So do the research. Common Core is horrible. Make some noise. I don't even have children, and I've been to a couple schools. I wrote a paper on it. You know, you either care or you don't, you know, and that's the problem. Nobody cares about nothing, and freedom is a responsibility. It's not something that you're just going to have willy-nilly. You know, it's like paying your car note. You know, if you don't pay your car note every month, you lose it. Well, if you don't fight for freedom every month, you're going to lose it. And this is an issue I think we all can relate to because it's our children, it's the future that's at stake here. So if you care at all about your child's education, then you will research and start with Dr. Pesta. Go on YouTube, Dr. Pesta's speech on Common Core. And if you got any more questions, you know how to get at me. Holla. Peace. Enjoy your weekend.